Hey guys, welcome to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and today, well, I might as well tell you my schedule. Every Friday from now on, I am doing Friday fish days. So, Wednesday is going to be Disney days, meaning if there's something about Marvel or Star Wars or Disney movies that I want to talk about, it will be on Wednesdays. Thursday is going to be anime days. Friday, which is today, it's going to be Friday Fish Days, and this one is going to be fun. Okay, so for the next couple of weeks, I am going to make these videos about my new tank, and it's just off screen. It's right there, and I really want to show you the tank. I can't right now before I show you this footage. This footage was taken 2 months ago when I first got the tank. And, later on as the series goes on, I'll tell you, of course, more about the tank and why it took me 2 months to basically set it up. But anyway, for right now, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Like, share, subscribe for more if you want to know more about my tanks or about my cats. I'll also talk about my cats in this series every now and again. Maybe, I know it's Friday Fish Days, but maybe every now and again I'll have a video out on Friday Fish Days about my crazy cats. Where are my cats? Well, anyway, yeah. Like, share, subscribe for more. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys do enjoy the rest of the video. Bye! Hey guys, welcome to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and today I have a new tank. I have a brand new awesome aquarium. Now, before I show you guys the aquarium though, let me actually tell you guys kind of a rabbit hole kind of story about why I got the new tank, okay? So, this is kind of a rabbit hole story, but stay with me and I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy the video, but it is kind of funny. So, my first aquarium was this 3.5 gallon tank. That was my first tank. And in the aquarium my first set up was just a handful of moss balls, a couple decorations, and a betta fish at the time named Merlin. Had that fish tank for about 6 months. 6 months, and then my first betta fish, my first fish, died, and that was pretty unfortunate. But I learned a lot from that aquarium. I learned a lot from that fish, and it was awesome to have. And then later on, I set up a 20-gallon aquarium. The 20-gallon aquarium had a handful of fish. I had a couple Danios and Cory cats, and then no joke, about a month later, I decided to set up the 3-gallon again, 3.5 gallon. And I got a new betta fish named Merlin, my buddy Dave. If you look at my old videos, I have a video about it called My New Old Tank, where I showed that I got a new betta fish and set up my old 3-gallon aquarium. That was my first tank ever. Well, then we actually moved. Like 3 months later, after setting up the 20-gallon aquarium, and now with the betta fish aquarium, I moved to Arizona, where I am now. Now, at the time when I first got here, I had about like 3 fish in that 20-gallon aquarium. I had a little Cory cat and 2 Danios. Unfortunately, one of the Danios died, but I had like literally 2 fish from my original 20-gallon aquarium. And they were in the 3.5-gallon aquarium 4 months. A lot longer than I intended them to be. It's just how the situation played out, was that they were in there a lot longer than I wanted them to be. But eventually, I did get a bigger aquarium. Obviously, you can see in the background the old 30-gallon, I call it old, but it's really not that old. My old 30-gallon aquarium with my fish in there. I absolutely love that tank. But what happened with that 3-gallon aquarium? Well, initially, I had that betta fish named Merlin, and he came with me. I put him in a fishbowl at the time, when I set up this tank, I took the guys that was in the 3-gallon tank, put them in this aquarium, and Dave went from the terrible 1.5-gallon fishbowl idea to the proper 3-gallon tank, and he loved it. Absolutely loved it. Now, my initial plan with that 3-gallon aquarium was that I was really getting interested in plants, and I made the 30-gallon a planted tank, and I really wanted to do a planted tank for the 3-gallon too, but I really wanted to somewhat get my feet wet in some more advanced, more interesting plants, just like everyone eventually gets to the point where they want to progress in the aquarium hobby, and the way I wanted to do it was I wanted to get more advanced plants. So my initial plan was to get rid of the light that was on the 3-gallon aquarium, get a much better plant growing light, and I was really interested in carpeting plants. So I was trying to grow a carpet in here, in that 3-gallon aquarium with, of course, my Bay of Fish Dave, and I was actually having success. I was actually having success with the aquarium. I got the carpet to grow maybe, I want to say just a little less than a quarter of the tank was now fully planted, and it's a 3-gallon aquarium, so a quarter of a 3-gallon aquarium, that isn't really a lot of carpeting plants. But the point is that I was actually having success. It took me forever to have that little bit of success. It took me a month to have, I set that aquarium up, and it was a month later that I was finally having success with my carpet plant starting to grow. And then one day, the light that I had on the aquarium, remember, I replaced the light with a much better light. It wasn't too much better of a light. I mean, it was a $15 aquarium planted tank light, and $15, it was rated to grow plants, probably not rated to grow a carpet like I wanted, but it was such a small tank that I don't think it really mattered. It was a $15 light, and a month later, the light went out. And I had no explanation why the light went out. It just absolutely did not work anymore. And it was just literally a month later. That light should have lasted a whole lot longer than that. And I was having success with my carpet. I don't know why that light went out. Well, eventually I did find out why that light went out. My cat chewed the light wire, and because of that, I'm very happy to say that my cat didn't die from it. But, yeah, my cat Katrina, my mama cat, my big cat, she likes to chew wires. She only chews certain wires, like thin, skinny wires, which that light that I had on there had, and unfortunately she chewed that light, and that light died on me. So what I did initially was I actually grabbed my desktop lamp and put it over the 3-gallon aquarium, and I had that going on for a month. It was not enough to keep my carpet alive. My carpet died on me, unfortunately. My mothballs, I still have my marble mothballs from where I first set up the aquarium way back when I first got into aquarium keeping. My mothballs, those things, you can literally toss them in a box in the closet and they won't die. I'm not even kidding. Marble mothballs survived. They were absolutely great little plants. They were doing fine in there. Of course, my carpet died, but other than that, I had a little bit of moss in there, not just marble mothballs, but I had like flame moss in there, and that was surviving quite well with just my lamp. It was just the carpet that died. And my Bay of Fish was perfectly fine. He absolutely loved the tank. He loved the aquascape I had in there. He was perfectly fine. But the thing is, after a while, I was actually starting to somewhat get interested into shrimp. I wanted to get some shrimp. I wanted to see if I could get Dave to leave the shrimp alone. Here's the thing. I know betta fish and shrimp aren't exactly the best idea, but about 80% of the time, if you want to put anything in with a betta fish, it's either shrimp or snails, and sometimes you will just get lucky where a betta fish doesn't care about the shrimp at all, and sometimes you don't. I never had anything in with Dave, and I'm definitely not going to get rid of Dave, but I do want to try to put shrimp in there with him and see what happens. It's sort of an experiment. Will my fish leave him alone? Will he have the attitude to where he doesn't care about these other creatures? I don't know, but I wanted to try it. But guess what? My light died, my carpet plant died, I have a tiny bit of moss, my mineral moss balls are just fine. It's a 3.5 gallon aquarium, a very small tank, perfectly fine for a betta fish, but not fine for a betta fish and shrimp. Do you see my point? You know, it's fine if you put shrimp with betta fish as long as you have, and I've done a lot of research on it, as long as you have places where the shrimp can hide and somewhat of a place where the betta fish can go and relax and not be bothered by anything else. That is what I was initially going to do, but it's a 3.5 gallon aquarium. Not a very large tank, and it's just big enough for Dave, but not enough for if I wanted to put shrimp in there. And here's the thing about the tank as well. It's a tall tank. It's a 3 gallon tall tank. It would be different if it was a 3 gallon wide tank. It's a bow front tank. I like the bow front look of the tank, but I just don't like the dimensions of the tank. It's a very tall tank, and it is very difficult to aquascape. It's always more difficult to aquascape a tall tank versus a long tank, and because of that, after that light went out, I know I should have probably went out and bought another $15 light. I could have done that, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to save my money. I'm going to buy a bigger tank. I'm going to buy a better tank, and I'm going to keep my betta fish with some shrimp in a better tank. So that is my plan. That was my plan. Now what I could have done is I could have gone to the store and bought a 10-gallon tank. They're like $15. I'm not even kidding. You can buy a 10-gallon tank for 15 bucks. Doesn't come with anything, you know. I have a filter in the 3-gallon aquarium that was, of course, rated for 5 to 10-gallon aquarium. So, you know what? If I kept the filter, perfectly fine. I have the filter. Could have gone in the tank. I wanted to grow carpet plants, so I would have to spend maybe $30 to $40 on a good light, and then and then everything else from aquascapes to plants to the shrimp itself would all come in time. But the tank itself was just, I could honestly go and buy a 10-gallon tank for $15. However, there is this one tank. It's a designer tank, that meaning that it was like designed specially. It has a special look to it, and it's a really cool design. I'm not really into designer tanks, especially because designer tanks usually are not very large and they're not very fish efficient, meaning you can't keep many fish or many of the right fish in those tanks. Designer tanks, a lot of the times, even for betta fish, designer tanks are just not a very good idea. Plus, they're generally a lot more expensive than what they should be. However, from the very first time I saw this aquarium, and I saw it on a YouTube channel on Pet Tech, actually. If anyone knows Sean from Pet Tech, shout out to him. I absolutely love his videos. I love his tanks. He has one of these tanks. And ever since I first saw it, ever since I first heard of it, I instantly fell in love with the look of the tank, where I was like dying to get the tank. However, here's the thing. I'm not going to just get a tank because I like the look of it. Although I do like the look of it, unless I actually need it, I'm not going to get it. And at the time, I had the 3-gallon. I had a betta fish. I didn't want to eat shrimp at the time, so why did I need that tank? There was no point of me getting that awesome looking tank at the time. However, now I'm looking for a larger tank. I'm wanting to keep shrimp. I'm wanting to keep plants, and of course I got my betta fish Dave that needs a better tank. So while yes, it would be simple and easy to get a 10-gallon tank and just set it up, I'm telling you, now this tank is a little bit more expensive, but why not save the money? Buy yourself a better looking tank, and that's exactly what I did. I now have one of these designer tanks, and I absolutely love the look of this thing. What did I get? I got